Everyone. We are loading up here for the live stream. It looks like we are live. Fantastic. Just doing a quick little tech check to make sure all systems are go as we dive into another episode of Shine Insiders Live today. We have an incredible guest with us, Elizabeth Ocean. Some of you might recognize her. We've actually had her here with us before. And hi, Elizabeth. So great to have you here with us today.
Hey, Heather, it's so good to be here back inside the Shine Insiders community with all of you amazing people, and especially you, Heather. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being here and sharing your genius and wisdom with us today. We are here to talk about how to get featured on summits and other high profile events, which I know is a big thing for a lot of the people in our community here, wanting to get visible, wanting to be featured more in especially high profile places and stages. And I love that you have this expertise that you guide your clients through on how to actually get visible in these places. So maybe give us a little synopsis. Well, I guess I should probably be giving a little synopsis about you first, as we get started here. So let me just set people up here to realize like the genius that they have in front of them today.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, because you actually run a holistic business academy, the Women's Holistic Business Academy. You have 30 years of spiritual business experience. You're very passionate about how helping spiritually oriented professionals, mentors, coaches, wellness leaders to really grow and impact, grow their income, grow their communities by getting featured on summits and high profile events. And you've actually produced over 1,000 workshops in your career. That's unbelievable. And large scale transformational festivals and conferences. So you're not new to this stuff. Let's just say that. So
It's so nice to be alongside other entrepreneurs who've been in it for the long game as well, and to be able to bring that expertise. So
yeah, this is old hat for you at this point, and you're sharing this information and wisdom that people really need in the world to get that visibility. So yeah, tell us a little bit about maybe an encapsulation of your journey of what brought you to this point now where you're hosting these kinds of events that you're doing now.
an encapsulation is so good. Well, like you said, Heather, I've been an entrepreneur most of my life, and I love teaching other women entrepreneurs how to lead and to speak and to have successful businesses because of that. It's just like, I want to share the path of that. I've always been interested in holistic wellness and spirituality, and I believe we can have this ripple effect. So that's one of the things that really drives me to share. But there was a point in my journey where I burnt out really badly. And that was like a turning point of, oh, the way I've been doing it, like the old paradigm is so awful. It's so isolating and lonely creating. And that's when I realized like, we got to come together. We can't do the old paradigm way of business, the old way that business was like said we were supposed to do it. I think we lost something when we're like, we're supposed to do it alone. We're supposed to just like do everything by ourselves and be independent women. And I think we lost something there. And I know I lost a part of myself within it. And it was because of that makes me care a lot about women entrepreneurs not doing it alone. That's why I love coming on here on your platform and your insiders group. It's like, we're not doing it alone anymore. And that's powerful. And that's everything. And part of my career as well has been producing events and producing speakers and producing workshops. So it's like, been a lot that I've learned over the years. And I've realized that when we speak and lead and get in front of people, it changes everything.
So true. And that's, like you said, like just you're a walking example of how this stuff works. Like, I mean, just the fact that we're here today doing this, like we've known each other for a while. We keep supporting each other in our businesses. And I know you talked about some of the challenges that you came up like as this shifting is happening with this sort of new paradigm. And it really does feel that way, that things have moved towards more of that spirit of collaboration versus competition. And I'm so honored that we get to do that for each other, and that so many of the people in our community get to do that for each other. So can you tell me what your like latest thing that you're on fire about is? Like, what is it? I have seen you on your social media a lot lately talking about collaboration and events and summits and how to get booked and all of these things. So what is it that's really got you on fire right now?
Oh, that question is so cool. Like, what is it that's got you on fire right now? And it's collaboration and speaking on summits. Like, those are two things that I've seen, and I've seen everything in our industry. Like, I've watched like the rise of the internet. I was an entrepreneur when I had an electric typewriter, and that was like high tech. So I've seen it all come and go. And what I've seen really stay consistent is that if you want to share your message, if you want to get your healing work or your transformational work or whatever it is that you have to share as a transformational mentor or coach or a leader or a teacher, if you want to get that in front of people, you have to get in front of people. Like, get yourself in front of people. And from the days of electronic typewriters to what we're doing right now, it's like massive shift. And we've seen, over the last 3 years, we've seen things really shift and change to a lot online and a lot of noise online. It's like, how do you get your message in front of people? And again, you getting in front of people. It rises above all the online noise. It rises above the noise because it's like you getting your heart and your message and your voice heard, and through video and through events and through speaking, it connects you with people. I mean, we're living in this world where everything's like disconnected, and we need to get more connected. And so using summits and other high profile speaking engagements to get your message in front of people is the thing that I've seen works the best. I've led summits, and in addition to leading in-person conferences and festivals, I've also led lots of online summits. And it's just like, what I see happening there is women find their voice and they shine, which is like one of your shine things to do. They find their voice, they shine, they reach people. And the big thing also, they collaborate, because you're not doing it alone. You're not like, oh, I'm over here by myself. You're in this little posse of amazingness, because sometimes it can feel lonely to do it all by yourself. So you're doing it all together. So that gets me really excited.
I love that. And I think that was such a great point. Like, we have more ways than being connected with others than ever at our fingertips, but we're probably, as a species, the most disconnected we've ever been, because everyone is like just staring in their device and on their own little path and trajectory. So yeah, like opening that up, bringing people together. I know that's a big passion we both have, is like bringing those, people and communities and the heart-centered and purpose-driven, mission-driven people working to make the world a better place. Like, that's where our hearts are, and where we use our special, unique gifts to like guide people into getting that higher visibility, and where we focus a lot on the media here, and some speaking and writing and all the ways that you can do that. It's like you have your magic of your so many years of doing this work and producing events, and you bring that lens, which I feel like is a really important and unique lens to understand what goes into producing an event, implementing, executing, actually pulling off a successful event, right? There's a lot that goes into that. So what do you think you're going to be creating coming up that's really going to help people like step into one of these types of stages or containers where they can learn that?
Well, I love something that you just said, like producing an event. This too. It's like, it takes a lot of energy, and it's a lot for one person to hold. So what we do is that we create a platform for women speakers to come in and speak. So I have a couple of annual summits where my clients get an opportunity to get in front of a really big audience and speak. And that's really powerful. And they're not doing it alone. So that's one thing that I just wanted to comment on there. What was your other question?
Yeah. What do you have coming up that might be able to help people learn that? So I think do you have a summit coming up, or you have?
I have got a bunch of things coming up. The first thing is a training. It's a 5-day training, and it's the Empowered Speaker Challenge. It's really the first step for you getting to learn how to get featured on big events, on summits, for you to really own your platform. That's a powerful piece. As a woman leader, as a speaker, I don't want you to just be dependent on, is somebody else putting on an event that maybe I could get on? I want you to own your own platform. So I'm going to teach you how to do that in this upcoming Empowered Speaker Challenge. And you're going to learn the secrets to really getting your message out in front of more people and growing your list, growing your audience. So there's so much packed into this 5-day challenge. It's actually starting next week on March 20th. And it's running for 5 days, just 1 hour a day. So you can get this all sorted out. I know you're busy. You can get all of these pieces in place and get a speaking plan in place. You'll know exactly how to get featured on summits, podcasts, keynotes. other high profile things, and you'll also know how to own your own platform. Like that's a gift. It's kind of like the teach a woman to fish thing. I can get you featured on one of my events, but if I can teach you how to own your platform, that's everything, and that's for life. So that's what you're going to get out of the Empowered Speaker Challenge, and it starts next week.
That's beautiful. So they'll have these skills that they can take and use forevermore. And that's such a generous gift to give in your 5-day challenge. Amazing. And I think we have the link in our post here. So we'll make sure it's also in the
Click
comments.
the link, get yourself signed up. It's free. It's only 5 days and it's totally free.
So generous. And I see also some of the other things that you love to talk about and teach are thriving as a transformational leader, which so many of the people I know in this community are transformational leaders, whether it's through spiritual coaching or teaching, practitioners. Those I know in particular are people that you love to serve, and really helping people learn how to grow their followings, attract more clients, and be abundant while doing it, right? That feels like such an important thing these days where, again, so much of the world is going into contraction again because there's all this talk around the R word.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the time when we go into expansion and thrive through uncertainty. So can you speak a little to that?
Heather, I was just thinking about this last night. Like you said it, like instead of going into contraction when we hear the R word, it's our duty to go into expansion. Like as a spiritual woman leader who has a good message to share, now is not the time to contract. Now is the time to double down on your expansion, because who are you going to be through whatever times are coming? I mean, we didn't know what was going to happen 3 years ago, and then just things keep happening. If you can be the one who pivots and expands rather than the one who contracts, guess what? Your people are going to feel you leading them through whatever dips and twists and turns that life or the economy might take. So expansion is everything, even though it feels counterintuitive. Like I should contract now. I should like save and pull back. If you do that, law of attraction states that, okay, you're pulling back, saving energy will send you less. But if we expand instead, like now, because other people will be contracting, if you expand, you're going to stand out. And that's one thing that we want. Heather has this built into Shine, is that like having you expand, having you get visible, having you be comfortable with, now's the perfect time to do that. So I get really passionate when you talk about the expansion bit, because I was just thinking about this as I was going to bed. I was like, expand, expand.
Yeah. And it takes a lot of, grit, right? Like as entrepreneurs, like when you're being bombarded by mass consciousness and all of these energies and thoughts and limiting beliefs and stories around us on a daily basis, the media, whatever it is, we really have to dig our heels in and commit to. We had a whole session in my class yesterday, in our Shine Online Mastermind around commitment. And that's where you've got to dig your heels in and just commit to that, whatever it is you're going for.
So
right.
True.
And not be
commit deeper when everybody else is like getting scared. You commit deeper. I love that.
Yeah. And just, to not be tainted or influenced, and like come from yourself first, your inner core and belief system of what you know is possible for you. And we both, I know, are really into the power of unlimited possibilities and thinking and all of those things that, and just because we teach this stuff doesn't mean we're not coming up against our things all the time too. And, that's just part of the journey as a human, is we're always going to come up against those things. And then it's like, okay, having the tools and the skills, the containers, the mentorship, the accountability with the people that you resonate with that are going to be on this journey with you, that when you're in that commitment to expansion. So I know that's one of your commitments, is holding that for your people that are in your community.
Yeah. When I suffered from burnout and isolation, it was really lonely, and it was hard, and it made it challenging. But like you were just saying, it's like when we can get with other people who are aligned and going to the same places, expanding alongside us, that's always been important. And I feel like in the coming months, in the coming couple of years, it's going to be more important than ever to be surrounded with other people who are like, yes, you can keep going, keep expanding, keep rising. So things like the Shine online insider community that you're all in here, it's powerful. You've got to keep leaning into each other and rise together. Like that's what matters. And I mean, people are going to benefit in the coming, whatever, if it's a downturn, whatever's happening, there are people who are going to benefit. And I would rather have holistic, heart-centered, conscious entrepreneurs like you all benefiting than other people. Just saying.
Exactly. Yeah, because these are the world changers that are actually working to make the world a better place, right? We've got a lot of big entities out there, corporate entities that don't really care that much about people or nature or whatever it may be, right? Our health. So the people here that do care about those things, we want you to get your messages out there. We want you to tell your stories. We want you to shine your light as bright as possible because the world needs you now more than ever, right? If we're gonna like as a species, if we're gonna survive the craziness that is our world at this point,
True.
everyone's got to step up. Everyone's got to play their part.
Right. And then on the backside of that, you're growing your audience, you're getting clients, and you're setting yourself up for stable income. And that's critical. Like it's obvious you can't depend on the traditional job model. Like there is no job security anymore. But the security comes from when an entrepreneur commits, like you were saying earlier, and leans in and says, I'm going to make my own income. I'm going to make my own security. When you control the security, you're in a position of leadership in your life, and that's everything.
So true and so powerful. And do you have any, like, I just always love to hear from my fellow coaches and consultants and service providers who are out there, like some of the magical things that happen in their community. Do you have any like stories or anecdotes or any particular person that maybe you could share that might be inspiring for people to hear about how you've helped someone transform or impacted their life and
Yeah,
business?
I love this. This makes me think of my client, Theta Phoenix, who is a sound healer, singer-songwriter, holistic healer for decades. She's absolutely amazing. And she's got the voice of an angel. She does intuitive singing. And she was always like struggling for where the money would come from. She was like doing a gig here and a gig there, and using that part of her business to try to have some kind of stability on. And it was challenging. It took a long time. And then through working with me, she figured out how to use this model. And she actually spoke. I taught her how to speak on one of my summits. She spoke on the summit. She got clients. She built her list. And then she started doing even more speaking engagements that I taught her how to do. So the summit was like the launch of her actual career as a leader, right? Like there's a lot of people who've been doing this for many, many years. I know many of you have, like 2 years, 5 years, 20 years. You've been doing your transformational work. You need something to launch it off. So anyway, Theta started doing more speaking engagements, and she used speaking to fill a group program. And she brought in her first like $6,000. I believe her first event brought her $6,000. And to her, that was just like amazing. And then she repeated it and did it again. And then it brought in $8,000. And then she repeated it and did it again. And it brought in $12,000. And every time she does it, she brings in that amount of money in just 1 month. And it's just changed her perspective on what's possible. When she steps forward, not just as a healer, but as a leader, somebody who's speaking to her community and teaching them something, it shifts the possibility, and it shifts everything. And then they're leaning into her as a teacher and happy to pay her. And she wants to, just like all of you, do something that just feels totally in alignment, like not salesy or cheesy. Like she wants it to feel really, really good. And it totally does. So I think of her, I have lots of different client stories, but I think of her right now in terms of how proud I am that she's stepped forward and done that.
Oh, I love that story. Yeah. And just like the power of doing it once, I think that's a lesson for everyone, and to stick with it and not get distracted by some other thing. Like just stick with something you're learning and doing, and then keep doing it again and again. And it'll just keep getting better and better. And she's so lucky to have you guiding her so that she can keep amplifying what she's doing with your guidance. I'm sure that's been critical to her success and helping her amplify and elevate her journey as that leader. And that's, I love hearing that.
So
We
true.
love
I
women.
love that you said amplify and elevate her journey, because she's good. Like all of you, you're all good. Like you're really, really good. You just need help to amplify and elevate it. Like sometimes it's just a subtle tweak. It's like, oh, I never thought of that. Putting this piece together, putting that together, like, oh, growing my list so I can have more money, getting in front of more people so that people know who I am, so I can create a successful business. So it's just amplifying and elevating. Really good.
I love that. Theme of the day, amplify and elevate. And the theme of your event, really. So let's remind everyone, especially if some of you are just jumping in and joining now, that you do have coming up how to get featured on summits and other high profile events is what you're going to be covering at your speaker challenge. It's when are the dates again?
March 20th through 24th, 1 hour a day, the Empowered Speaker Challenge. We're also going to be talking about AI in business, like using AI to enhance your message. We're also going to be talking about how to pivot and shift and embrace what's happening now so you can optimize getting out there in whatever's happening in the economy, in the world. So we're really going to be talking currently about what's going on. And you're going to learn how to embrace your message and lift your own voice up, even if you've never done it before. Even if you're like, am I a speaker yet? I've been teaching, or like, I kind of want to get on stages, but it scares me. Or if you're like, I'm fully on stages, I want to get on more. This training has got it all. And I'm so excited to share with you all.
Oh, I love that. And you turned me on more to the AI stuff that's happening with Chat GPT and all these places. I'm like, a little bit slow usually to adapt with the technologies. I resist them and then I, get on board, but it is fascinating what you can do with content creation and just so many different things when it comes to like your writing and speaking with AI. So I love that you're going to be covering that because that is such a new hot topic that everyone
It
is talking
is.
about.
That's why this training is so perfect right now. It's like if you've been doing stuff in your business or you're speaking or trying to get your message out there, I'm covering brand new topics and bringing you the system and bringing you the empowered speaker system so that you can get featured on stages, you can use AI, you can get in front of more people, build your business and get more clients.
Yay. I love it. Well, everyone, make sure you click on the link in the post, down, up, wherever it is where you're watching, uh, and join Elizabeth for the challenge. And we are just so happy that you were able to spend some time with us today, Elizabeth. I'm sure we'll have you back in the community again soon. Any last thoughts for our viewers today?
Oh, well, I want to say thank you to you, Heather, for bringing me on and sharing your community with me, and for your community, for everyone watching this. Huge gratitude. You're in such good hands with Heather. She's an absolute genius, and I learn from you every time I'm with you. And to all of you who are watching this, if you're ready to get featured as an expert speaker, if you want to get on bigger stages and build a platform that is yours, that you can really leverage in your business and learn a whole bunch of really cool stuff, I would really love to see you on the challenge. And no matter what you do, just keep shining your light. That's the theme of this incredible community. Don't let hesitation or fear or what's happening in the world or other people around you tell you what you should do or how you should feel. Don't even let that inner voice, the one that's like, oh, I don't know, maybe it's a sign I shouldn't do this. Don't let that inner voice hold you back, because you are meant to be shining and radiating your light.
I love it. Can you all feel her light, Elizabeth's light? Like, ooh, let's give some love. You are just so awesome, Elizabeth. I love having you in my life and love having you share your energy and wisdom with us here in our community today. And I'm just so happy that we've been able to be on this journey together and
Me too.
continue enjoy each other's presence and share each other's communities with each other. We have a lot of people kind of crossing over now, and it's just like birds of a feather. We flock together. So happy to have you here today. And everyone, click on the link, go to her event next week, check out Elizabeth. You're gonna love her content. You can feel her energy today. You're gonna get a lot more of that goodness. And just keep us posted, Elizabeth, on how everything is going. We'll have you back again soon. And just sending you so much love today. Thanks for coming out. Thank you.
Thanks.